Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hello, in particular, to Chess Bunzo, who has specifically requested that I notice him. So, Chess Bunzo, there you are. Hello. Um, and also, welcome to Abby. Thanks for checking out the stream. I think this is your first time here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing a Scrabble today, but if you catch me around the same time tomorrow, I will be doing a Scrabble. And yes, indeed, there is a Polybridge 3 now. Not only is there a Polybridge 3, but Dustin Dude, or Dusu, who you might know from the Woogles Discord, was actually involved in playtesting this game and has his name in the credits. So he also streams this game and other things, including Scrabble, of course. I'll just drop a quick shout out to Dustin Dude. Feel free to follow him for more of this sort of thing. I do have the Twitch integration for this enabled. However, it tends to work better on the simpler bridges earlier in the game. And we're now at the point where they're getting quite complicated. That might not work so well. But we did give it a try on the previous streams. We can maybe do that again. And hello again to Mushloon. Hope all is well. Enjoy the artist badge that I have given you. And feel free to lurk and work, as I know you like to do. And in addition, hello to Pancake's Face. I was waiting for you to show up. Yes, I've started the stream a little earlier than usual today to fit around Pancake Face's schedule. She has just finished an eco stream. If eco is your sort of thing, then be sure to check out Pancake's Face, who I can't shout out right now because I can't spam shout outs that quickly, but I will do at some point in this stream. Hello again, thank you for dropping by, and we will dive right into this game. You're doing multitasking now, okay. Well, if one of those tasks is watching the stream, then I hope you enjoy that part. Now, okay, yes, I will leave accept viewer. Hello again, Mike Laroni. Mike Laroni is. I need to give you VIP, Mike Laroni, don't I? Because he is by far the biggest supporter of this stream, having gifted 50 subscriptions last week. As a result of which, most of my regular viewers are now subscribed. And hello also to our resident moderator, LT Bago. Glad you could join us. As I say, I will leave viewer suggestions on, but we are getting into the more advanced levels now, so it may be that we don't get many. If Dustin shows up, since he knows how to use the Twitch integration, then I might jump into some simpler levels and try that out as well. So yes, Pancake's Face, I am very fortunate to have such a huge supporter of my stream, although I'm grateful in general for the many people who have stopped by, many from the Scrabble community, many from the Dorf Romantic community, many from other communities. Who have all contributed, and Mushloon, of course, has contributed by doing some artwork for me. Now, this is actually quite a tricky bridge. I had to go at it off stream and couldn't get it to work. The objective in Polybridge is to build a bridge to transport vehicles. I might actually quickly hop into a simpler level to show Pancake's Face what is up. So you are given something like this. You have a vehicle on this side, you have a flag on the other side, and you have a gap in the middle. And you are given various building materials with which you can construct a bridge, and this is the bridge that I built for this level. And then you get to watch the car drive across. And that all seems fairly tame. But there are two things to bear in mind. One is that if you don't make your bridge strong enough, it will collapse and the car will fall in this river. And the other is that the levels get much more complicated as the game goes on, and you're not just building a simple bridge anymore. This level here, which is the next level I need to tackle, what is happening is there is a flatbed truck here carrying a car on its back. It's going to drive across to the halfway point of the bridge, and then the car is going to drive off of the truck and needs to get up here, and then when all that's finished, this camper van needs to get up here. And in order to accomplish that, we have to move parts of the bridge around, and not only that, we have a budget of $118,000, and all the materials we use cost money, so we have to stick within the budget. If we manage all that, there is then a leaderboard for who can get the cheapest bridge. So there is an incentive to build everything as cheaply as possible. Anyway, first thing I'm going to do, this is far too big of a gap to really support this truck that's going to drive across, so I'm going to put this foundation in the middle to hold it up. Then I'm going to start trying to support these two sides of the bridge. So we'll do something like that to support that side, and something like that to support that side. So at this point, yeah, we've discovered it's not strong enough to support the truck. We have to go back and make it stronger. So as well as the wood that I've built this out of, we also have the option of using steel, which is stronger than wood but also more expensive. So I will be replacing all this with steel. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so we've managed to get the truck halfway across. So, yeah, what happens now is the car drives off. The car needs to get up to this flag. It's just driven back into this entrance bit. So, that's where these blue things come in. These are hydraulics. So we can lift up part of the bridge. Now, if you are mathematically inclined, you can work out the geometry and calculate exactly where it needs to go. Or you can just hit the button and hope for the best, which is what I'm doing here. And is that going to be far enough? Not quite. Needs to go a bit higher. The car isn't going to make it. So this hydraulic is already as long as it can be, so I need to make it a bit longer. By having two of them. So let's give this a go, see if that's enough hydraulic. Okay, that's a bit more like what I need. Let's see if the car can make it up that. There we go. So the car has made it across the bridge, but you may have noticed the second half of the bridge immediately collapsed. So we need to work on that. Okay, this bit broke. I'm just going to replace that with steel. See if we can get the truck across as well. Okay, so now the truck has made it across. We have one last obstacle, which is this camper van. That needs to get up to this flag, and at the moment it's not going to make it. So what we're going to do is copy this design on the other side. That rope. So that this half of the bridge will lift up. And I think we're going to need to reinforce both of these. We also need to make sure that the correct half of the bridge lifts up at the correct time. So first, this left side of the bridge needs to lift up, so this doesn't happen. Then the left side needs to come back down, and then the right side needs to lift up. So if I've done all that right, it should work now. Let's speed it up a bit. That didn't work right. The right hand side of the bridge collapsed again. think I just need to make it stronger. Let's try it. Okay, we have our first successful level. So now we get a ranking on the leaderboard. I'm in 775th place, which is in the top 7% of scores. There's this handy little graph here to show you everyone else's scores in relation to yours. But some people manage to get it for half that, so there are obviously better designs. But I'm not going to spend a load of time trying to optimize any designs today, so we'll just move on. Okay, this is a bit crazy. We have planes flying in every direction over our bridge, so we have to build around them. And that's easy enough for this bottom section, where we can just build a road straight across. But when we have got this car across, we also need to get this purple car the other way. So we need a second road. And now we have the problem of there are planes flying through the middle of our bridge. So somehow we need to support these two bridges whilst leaving space for these planes. So this is going to be interesting. I think these silhouettes of where the planes are going to come are very precise, so we can build around them like this if we're careful. I think that's going to be the best solution. So once we've done half the bridge, we can be lazy and copy the other half. And then we need to figure out this middle bit. Okay, let's see how that goes. So the planes made it through the middle of the bridge without crashing, but it wasn't strong enough for the vehicles, so we need to work on that. Place this with the rope. Try it again. No, still not good enough. But a different piece broke that time, so if a different piece breaks, that's progress. You can sort that piece instead. Okay, and it might not be obvious, but the car got slightly further that time before the bridge collapsed. So again, we're making progress. I'm going to replace these bits with steel, since they are the bits that broke. What broke that time? This piece. Replace that with steel as well. I think we're getting there. Just need to replace some more pieces with steel, and eventually it'll work. I don't want to make the whole bridge out of steel because I want it as cheap as possible. Let's try that. And we have made a successful bridge. Where are we on the leaderboard? Top 3%, that's... I'll take that. Okay, this time instead of planes getting in the way, we've got boats getting in the way. Boats are a bit like planes, except they go in water. So, this time there is no way we can get a road through here, so we have no choice but to use hydraulics to move the bridge out of the way. And again, we have to get vehicles across from both sides, so we're going to need to make 2 roads and move them both out the way together. So I think what we should do is just connect both roads together like these. And then put some hydraulics in to move them. It's probably going to be easier to have half the bridge go one way and half the bridge go the other way. In which case we need to have a join in the middle where they will separate. Something like this. And then to do the lifting of the bridge, we need to have some sort of hydraulic here. I think maybe some sort of arrangement like this, which then pulls on the bridge to lift it. Like that. Let's see how that goes. Okay, it just broke when I tried to pull it. That's not a good start. Let's try pulling from there instead. That might put a little bit less stress on the hydraulics. Or it could collapse the whole thing, that's also an option. Okay, we sort of managed to open the bridge, except that it broke. So we need to sort that. There we go, that's better. Okay, now there's a second problem, which is we're not really opening the bridge far enough, and the boats are going to crash into it. So next problem is open the bridge further. I think we should do by having more hydraulics. I'd like to have just 2 pieces here if possible, but I think we'll need to have more than 2. Maybe something like that. See how that works. Well, the right side is fine, the left side broke. Okay, both sides are working. Okay, it's now too good, the bridge opens too far. It's tricky this. Let's expand these hydraulics less. gonna make it? No, it's just not quite far enough. Expand them slightly more. There we go. So we got the boats through, now we have to find out if the cars can actually drive them. And they can. Okay, this is interesting. We have a motorbike starting here, needs to end up here. Problem is, we've only been given 14 roads. 14 roads is enough to build that far, which is not far enough. So we have to put a jump in our bridge. Fortunately, this game is not too concerned about realism. Rest assured that civil engineers do not normally put jumps into bridges. So the motorbike is going to have to land around here somewhere. And then it's going to have to do another jump, I suspect, to make it to the end, because we're not going to have enough roads even from here. So there's going to be a road somewhere around here where I've put these supports. I'm just going to start by seeing where it lands. Okay. It doesn't quite make it to where I put the supports. Missing a trick not putting jumps in IRL. I mean, yeah, I would be terrified. I don't think I would ever cross a bridge again. If I knew that anybody involved in the construction in any way had played this game at any point. Also, I did promise to shout out Pancake Space, who is fairly new to streaming, I think, and is currently streaming Eco most days, so please feel free to follow them if Eco is the sort of game that you're interested in, or even if you just want to hang out. Something to hold this up now. I'm not sure how much steel I'm going to need here, but if I run out of money I can always try and move it. Okay, so the bike almost lands the jump, but just catches it awkward and face plants the bridge. So I need to move this down slightly. Okay, they landed the jump, but they still broke the bridge. Might need to make this piece of steel. And that piece. Okay, that time they actually did a front flip when they hit the bridge and then landed it. Now they could carry on at this point, however, yeah, front flip for style indeed. There are extra achievements for completing all the campaign without your bridges breaking, which I would like to get, which means I do need to fix the fact that it's breaking, even though the bike does technically make it equipped. Okay, right, that doesn't break. I've used far too much steel now, so I'm just going to check if I can no longer have those. Okay. It's still... Sorry, I apologize for continuously slowing this down and reliving the jumps, but they do some hilarious things sometimes. In this case, how many flips did they make? Oh, it's just one big flip. It's just, yeah. That's, I mean, he's wearing a helmet, right? So he'll be fine. I do need them to actually land this, because otherwise they won't have enough speed to make the next jump. There we go. Okay, yeah, they now have a bit more speed. So we need to send them straight into another jump. There we go. That's going to get us to about here, where we need to construct another landing point. And we've got nothing to put a foundation on this time. However, we have been given this drone hovering in the sky that's going to hold our bridge up for us, as well as this hot air balloon. If you're ever building a real bridge, don't suspend it from a hot air balloon. That's not a good way of building bridges. As soon as there's any wind, your bridge is going to blow away. But it's what we're going to do here. So I'll have some ropes to hold it up, and then we need to have some roads. Probably about here. And then we need to support those somehow. And then at this end, we can also rest it on this foundation that we've got here. Something like that. In fact, this rope doesn't need to go like that. It can go like that. Let's see if that... I think it might be slightly... Yeah, that gap is slightly too small still. We can also try and make this jump slightly bigger. We run out of steel. To split this piece of steel into two in order to give us a big enough jump. Okay, so that now makes it onto the bridge, except that it breaks it. It was sort of doing a backflip, so I just need to adjust the angle of the jump so that it doesn't do a backflip. Okay, it's still doing sort of a backflip, but I think that is better now. We just need the bridge not to break when it lands on it. Once it gets here, we've got 3 more roads to clear this gap, and I think that's going to be enough, but it's going to be close. So we do need the vehicle to keep its speed across the bridge. Not do that. What's actually happening there? It's still doing too much of a backflip, honestly. Okay, that's better. Well, it doesn't get as much height, but it's not doing a backflip anymore. Bring this down. While I'm here, I'm going to put in the rest of this section, and I'm hoping that this is enough of a jump that it will make it to the end. If it isn't, we'll have to go back and change it. Okay, well it almost made it. I think it lost a bit of speed when the bridge broke. So the next step is don't break the bridge. See what the landing is like. Ah, yes. We do still need to sort this landing out. Nope. That was no good either. What we can actually do with this bridge is if we put a piece of steel here, we can actually rest it on this rock and get a bit more support for this section of the bridge. We can also make this a bit cheaper. I think it's not under that much strain. Something like that. Because we are over budget at the moment. We can always go back and fix that later. We can also make that rope shorter. Also change this. This does not need to be quite so heavy on the steel. That's probably fine. Okay, that was very close then. It did look like it was going to make it. To keep the curve of these roads as smooth as possible, to minimise the stress on the bridge and so that the vehicle maintains its speed. There we go. So once it managed to cross the bridge without the bridge breaking, then it got there. That was all that was needed. Now I am over budget by about $5,000, so in order to complete the level properly, I need to save some money. The easiest way to do that is to replace some of this steel with wood in the areas where the bridge is not in danger of breaking. I wonder if I need that bit, because if I don't need that bit, then we're done, because that's under budget. Okay, yeah, we didn't need that bit. Once it was not hitting the bridge at an odd angle, we were fine. So I will move on. Okay, so we have a vehicle needs to cross a very long bridge with 3 boats. Reach this flag. First step is just holding up this rather long bridge. I think the easiest way to do that is with 2 foundations and some supports on top. Oops. So this is probably good enough for the bridge itself. However, we now need to get it out of the way of these boats. Normally we would just build the bridge slightly higher and go over the boats. However, for this level, we're not allowed to place any roads, and these roads that are already here are locked in place. They are pre-placed and we can't change them. So the road is going where the boats need to be, and we have to move it. We don't have any choice. So we need to have something that's going to lift these 2 sections out of the way. And also do the same thing here, and also do the same thing here. Just wondering whether to do it in the middle or on the side. I think on the side is going to be okay, because we do have foundations available to us. I'll start with one of these side ones actually, because we don't actually need to move this whole section of the bridge. This bit on the side here where the boat isn't going to come, we can just leave in place. Hello Ophelia, thank you for checking out Polybridge 3. This is not, unfortunately for you, Dwarf Romantic, but it is nevertheless a puzzle game that I like to play, and it's a little bit of harmless fun, I think. We get to watch bridges collapse and vehicles fall in water. Are you streaming today, Ophelia? I didn't catch you earlier at your normal time, so possibly not. Streaming tomorrow. Okay, I will probably be around for that stream then. I will also be streaming tomorrow, starting at around this time, and playing Scrabble again. For all those Scrabble fans in the chat, of which I know there are at least 2. I need to figure out how this is supposed to work now. I need to lift this part of the bridge up, but I need to support the lifting mechanism on something. So I'm going to support it on this foundation, but I can't lift it from here. I need to be lower down and lift it from down there. So I need something like this. And then I also need something like this on this side. Yeah, well, this is the thing, Ophelia. We've got the suspense of what's going to happen with your dwarf. Stayed up too long at canvas. Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, that might have been partly my fault for tempting you with my dwarf stream to stay up later than normal. I think it must have been about midnight your time by the time I finally signed off my stream. So yeah, apologies for that. I think we just repeat this. Oh, sorry, yes. So after my stream, you went into Luke's stream, and he was also playing Polybridge. Yes, the whole chain of Polybridge, and yeah, Luke streams later even than me, and I'm already on a later time zone than you. Let's, if it's been enough time since I did my previous shout out, which it has. Ophelia6277 streams Polybridge, not Polybridge, Dwarf Romantic. I'm saying the wrong game. Ophelia streams Dwarf Romantic and is very good at it, much better than me. In my last stream, I attempted the monthly challenge and did terribly at it. Ophelia attempted the monthly challenge and I think is currently in 8th place and possibly on course to be very near the top of the leaderboard by the time she finishes her current game. So is definitely one of the better Dwarf Romantic players out there. I can't play one game and talk about another game. That just doesn't. Emma Brain. Emma cannot do 2 things at the same time. Oh, you dropped down the leaderboard again. Okay. Competition is fierce. Clearly, someone has been inspired by your stream to go out and improve their run. Imagine being good at the game. Yeah, I can't relate, T-Bogo, to all these skilled gamers out there. I'm currently wondering how on earth this is going to work because I've got this bit working. So this is going to detach here and this hydraulic is going to push up and lift this part of the bridge up. Then I've repeated the same thing here. So this hydraulic is going to push this part of the bridge up. However, here, I don't really want to push it up from this side because there's no reason for any of this to move. I'd like to push it up from here. And if I just do this, which is the obvious thing, and lift this side up and this side up. These 2 parts of the bridge are going to remain attached to each other. And that's going to end badly because when it tries to lift them up, the roads will snap apart. So we can't do that. What we can do is lift this section up from here instead, because then the 2 bits aren't touching. In which case we need to not have anything there. And we sort of build an extra support here and pretend that this is part of the foundation that we placed. Like that. That should work. And then we need to have something here to support the bridge and a hydraulic. I'm going to make that the hydraulic, and then I'll make this the bridge support. Just going to do that. And I need to set these. When I do this, the numbers here, everything that's marked 1 will separate, and everything that's marked 2 will separate. But the 1s and the 2s will remain connected together. So when I split it in half, the two halves need to be able to hold each other up. We don't need that anymore. You should not be streaming these games. You should be, yeah, well, I suppose I could say that. I could say that I'm actually brilliant at loads of games. I just choose to stream ones I'm bad at because it's funny. That's going to be my excuse from now on. Especially when I play Scrabble and lose every game. I could win, it's just I choose to lose because it's hilarious. Okay, 2 of my 3 bridges lifted correctly and the other one completely collapsed. So let's see what we did wrong here. That should be like that for a start, and that should be like that. Being bad at games is entertaining, yes, Ophelia. I agree with that. If I didn't agree with that, I wouldn't be streaming at all. Right, do we manage to... None of our bridges actually got lifted far enough to miss the boats, so that whole exercise was completely pointless, and everyone has drowned. Okay. Right, we need to lift the bridges slightly further then. Should be able to make that happen. Thinking though that it might be cheaper and possibly also better to lift them from the top instead of from the bottom. So what that would mean doing would be having something like this that pulls back on this section and lifts it up. Actually, it would only need to be that section. I would need to support all of this underneath, but we can do that using the foundation. Then we can repeat the same thing here with that section up. Then we can copy this whole mechanism to this side. Okay, this is more expensive than our previous solution, but if it works, then that's progress. Immediately just falls off because I didn't set this correctly. Okay, I also don't need to pull this section from both sides, I only need to pull it from one side, so that's actually all we need. Okay, well it lifted up. Do we dodge the boats? Ooh, just barely. That was close. Does it come back down again? Yes. And does the truck make it across? Fabulous. So we managed it, but it costed us $85,000, and people have done it for $36,000. So not the cleanest design, but we'll take it for now. Right, this level looks dramatic. We have a car here, which is very fast, and we have to pass through these 2 stars on our way to the flag. They are sort of checkpoints that we have to reach. So yeah, well, here's the thing, Tibo. If we build a normal-looking bridge like this, we are not going to get this star. So we need to do some sort of acrobatics to reach both these stars. I wonder if a loop-de-loop is indeed going to be the answer. So let's see what that would look like. We need to start off by doing something like this. And then we'd rapidly need to go upwards in order to reach this star. But then we have a problem if we do try to do a loop-de-loop, because we're going to have to go through the road that we've already built. So the car will have to do a little jump here in order to get up onto the loop. And then it will need to come down through the hole, jump through the hole we just made, and then end up at the finish. So it would look something like that. So now we have to figure out how to get that to stay up. We do get one foundation to use, and I will use it. I'm going to put it about there. I can't put it any higher than this, so I can't put it directly under the loop to support that part better. I need to put it down here somewhere. And I'm going to use steel because I have a feeling if I don't use steel, the whole thing is just going to break immediately. So to start with, I'm just going to try and hold this whole thing up, and then afterwards we can look at what breaks, because I'm sure something will break, and make adjustments from there. Is this going to reach? It's not going to reach. Okay, let's just move the road over slightly. To try and have this as smooth as possible, I think. And then, I mean, probably just something like this in the middle. Also support that. Right, what could possibly go wrong? That. So I think it actually crashed into the bottom of the loop. Yeah. So this isn't angled up quite enough. It's a bit awkward to move the pieces now that they're all connected together. It's still hitting the end of this, so we need to move this over, which means moving all of this over. Make this a bit steeper of a jump as well. Okay, that actually worked. I was not expecting that to work so quickly. The car did a loop. We did just about get it under budget. I'm sure there are much cheaper ways to do it. I'm just going to watch this again. There we go. I love that that's actually possible. Yeah, people got this for about a quarter of what I spent. A lot of it would just be a case of not using steel, making it strong enough with wood. Right, this is interesting. We don't have any hydraulics available for this level, except that there are two already placed for us, which are locked in place. We have to cross this gap, we have to get this star, and we have to get out the way of this boat. So there is no way to avoid building a road through the middle like this. So we have to move that road out the way using these hydraulics. We can't adjust how much they expand or where they pull. We just have to build a bridge that works from that position. So my first thought is we want it to pull this up, pivot around this joint here, which probably means having some sort of support here. Then this is currently floating in midair, so we need to hold that up. Probably just with 2 pieces of steel like that. And we need to do the same thing on the other side. Let's see how that goes. Okay, the bridge is wobbling a bit worryingly, but we did get it out the way. Let's see if it actually makes it back down again. No, okay. I need to figure out why it was wobbling like that. I think I need to make this section more rigid, possibly by supporting it from the top instead of the bottom. Which I think will look something like this. Can I fit a wood in? No, okay. It'll have to be steel. If I do something like that, well, it started off well. I think it's actually pulling too far, which is annoying because I can't control how far these hydraulics pull. So we need to adjust this, I think, in order to get it to, yeah, if we pivot from there instead. Right, ignore the right hand side, which is definitely going to break. Oh, okay, left side breaks as well. This needs to be stronger. We'll try and get the left side working first, and then if that works, we'll copy it to the right side. Okay, that almost worked, but that piece broke. Does the game have a proper tutorial? Yes, so Ophelia, this is my third stream of this game, so I'm sort of jumping in to the more advanced levels. I'll just briefly show you. There is a tutorial here, which you're literally just building a bridge like that across a very small gap, and it shows you exactly what to build and how to do that. And then, yeah, the first level is literally just that, and then it very gradually builds the complexity from there. So yes, obviously when you get to this, well, I'm sort of 2/3 of the way through the campaign. By the time you get to this point, you've had to sort of figure out more advanced mechanics, like how to move pieces of the bridge out of the way, which is something I'm still struggling with, as you can see. So the problem I'm having is that this hydraulic here is pulling my bridge further than I want it to. But in this level, I don't have control over how far it pulls. I'm wondering if I just dangle a rope here that can flex in response to the bridge, whether that will help. Okay. Yeah, so this is what happened before. It hasn't broken, it's just wobbling. But when it was wobbling before, it didn't have a rope. So we'll see if having a rope helps. might prevent it from completely collapsing on the way back down. We're lucky that the pirate ship managed to dodge the wobbles there. Don't ask why there's a pirate ship that we need to raise our bridge for, but... okay, so the right-hand side worked perfectly there, and the left-hand side broke. Which is frustrating because both sides are identical. This can actually just be one piece of steel for a start. I'm going to try it like that, and if the left-hand side still breaks, I'll have to look at a stronger design. Okay, well at least they both broke in the same place that time. Let me make this piece steel and try again. Okay, there we go. We got the whole thing with no breaks. That's what I was aiming for the whole time. And yeah, of course people did it much cheaper than me. Okay, there's a lot going on this one. We've got a car that needs to get over here. We've got a moped that needs to get over here. Turn around and go back to where it was. Meanwhile, we've got another car here that needs to go over to this side. And you might think, well, that's easy. You just build 3 bridges, one here, and one here. However, they've only given us 6 roads. 6 roads is enough to do that. So we built the first bridge, but these guys still have a gap. So what we will need to do is let this guy across, move this section of bridge up to the car to let the car across, move this section of bridge down to this car to let this car across, and then, because this guy's going to be coming back, we've got to move everything back to where it was to let him come back. It would be easier just to order some more roads, but the game won't let us do that. So, first thing I'm going to do is make some supports here to hold this section of the bridge together, and to hold this section of the bridge together. And they will need to split in the middle, and so will that. And this section needs to go down, so we can have hydraulics that lower it. We need to start from down here. Yeah, there. I think. Actually, maybe not. If we want the hydraulics to be in a straight line like this, we would have to start from down here and lower it. We might be able to get away with doing something like this instead. I want these supports to be on the other side then. Something more like that. Yeah, I don't know if this will actually be strong enough to hold up the bridge. Actually, the problem with this is we're only holding the bridge in one point in the middle, so it would tilt. We don't want that. So it might be better instead to build down. But I don't think we need to go all the way down. We can do something like that. Have the hydraulics here and here. The problem here is we can't build this one directly down because there's a wall in the way. So we'd have to angle it, and that would cause it to... the whole bridge would get skewed when it moves it down. So that's actually not perfect either. We would need to angle this one exactly the same amount so that the bridge came down flat. So I'll try that. We still need to support this middle bit. Like that. Now on the other side we have the opposite problem, we need to move it up. So we attach hydraulics something like that. And we need to move upwards. So this is going to be the basic design, but we do need to get hydraulics configured correctly. Also, I have a feeling that this isn't going to work, this is just going to wobble. So to stop it wobbling, I probably need to have a rope like that to keep it in place. Let's see how that works. So first of all, this drives across, that's the easy bit. Okay, first of all, I forgot to make this one expand, so that was going down and not up. Let's try that again. Okay. So it's starting off well, but then the whole thing is tipping over and collapsing. So I need to stop it doing that. I think we can accomplish that by crossing the hydraulics over like this. So ignore the right hand side for a moment, I just want to see what the left hand side does. No. It immediately collapses. That's helpful. Just look at that again. That is not connected, that's why. When pieces mysteriously collapse for no reason, they're usually just not connected. Okay, there we go. So that's now going up. It's actually going up slightly too far. So we can reduce the amount that these expand by. We'll get the left side right first before we focus on the other side. Still going too far. That's about right now. It's still falling over for some reason. It shouldn't be. Might be better to have the supports down here. Yeah, that wasn't tipping as much. It's still going slightly too far. Still slightly too far. Okay, well the left-hand side is working. Now let's figure out this nonsense. I'm going to go with something like this again on this side, except that we need to start from lower down. So I think if we cross over the hydraulics again, because that worked on the other side, it might work here as well. And to get this symmetrical. Like that. Okay, let's see how that goes. That did not go well. I think it's contracting too much again, so again we're just going to reduce this. No, it is just collapsing in on itself. Let's rethink this then. If I I attach these here and here, that will work provided I can stop it from tipping over. It's occurred to me that I could probably stop it from tipping over by attaching a rope to it. So I would need to have something in the middle here that doesn't move. Which would mean not attaching it to that central point. Do something like this instead. Which is annoying. Actually, I wouldn't necessarily need to do it there. I could possibly do it over here, which would make things easier. Attach something here. And then have a rope. I think connecting it to there would work. The distance from there should stay constant. Let's see if that helps if I'm talking on. Okay, that did actually help. It didn't quite go down far enough, but it helped. So I need to lower this a bit. Still need to lower it more. Can go lower. So eventually this should go down far enough. There we go. Okay. The left side is still doing its own thing. I think this solution of keeping it in place with a rope helped. So I'm going to apply that same thing to the other side. So I basically said that this point is going to stay the same distance from this point as it moves from here to here. So I'm also going to say that this point is going to stay the same distance from this point as it moves from there to there. And that should stop this side from doing any crazy flip tricks like it was doing before. If I remember to attach them. Okay, so couldn't quite stop it from doing crazy flip tricks. I'm going to try arranging the hydraulics like this, like on the other side, because it was a bit more successful on the other side. Yeah, definitely having a harder time with this level than with the other levels. That's not going to work, they're going to need to be longer. So put this down to here. I need two hydraulics in the same place here, which is awkward. I need this one to do this side, and I need another one to do the other side. Yes, it's quite entertaining to watch me fail repeatedly. I completely agree with that. And then I do need this rope still. But I need the rope to attach to both of them, so let's do that. So this one needs to expand, the other one needs to contract. And I need the same thing on the other side, like that. This actually can be a rope, not a steel. That needs to be attached. That needs to expand. Oops. Yes. Yes, when you've solved the level, but you want to try and climb the leaderboard by getting a cheaper solution, you can spend hours upon hours tweaking your design to make it slightly cheaper, but still functioning. And yeah, it can be interesting to see how a very small change can completely affect how it behaves. Yes, so each level has a leaderboard. There's a budget at the top of the screen. I have $41,000 to spend on this bridge, and I have to stay within that budget. The leaderboards are completely optional. You can just play through the game and try to get all the bridges working. That is difficult enough. But if you want more of a challenge, you can try and get the cheapest. Dustin, thank you for joining the stream in a elaborate fashion by raiding yourself in without anyone viewing you. Hello, Dustin. Welcome to Polybridge 3, a game which you helped test, and which I did shout you out for earlier on. Yeah, I started a little earlier than normal because Pancake's Face wanted to take a look at my stream, so I'm sort of working around people's time zones. By the way, Dustin, I will be streaming Scrabble again tomorrow at around 9 PM my time. So if you'd like to join me to thrash me at Scrabble again, that would be much appreciated. Are all your viewers left? Well, you see, you made the mistake of telling them that they were coming to this stream, so of course they all hurriedly closed their browser windows and got up and did something else with their lives. You got dragged here? So did you get dragged in the raid? Few, I guess you... Well, it told me that Dustin had only raided with one viewer, which seems to be false, because at least 2 people have been brought over to my stream. Welcome to Strategy Few, and yeah, maybe Twitch is just lying to me about the numbers. It could at least inflate the numbers rather than reduce them, make me feel better about how many people are watching. But welcome to some number of raiders from Dustin's stream, as well as Dustin himself. And yes, you can watch me fail at Polybridge 3. Okay, what I've managed to do now is make the 2 cars drive into themselves, so they're both sitting there forever. Few, I think you quite enjoyed this game last time. This is the one where you insisted we tunnel under every level. I welcome your suggestions for how I should beat this one. I'm halfway there. I've got this bit of the bridge to go down, this bit of the bridge to go up, but then it falls over. So I'm just working out how to have it not do that. And I'm leaning towards having a rope on this side as well to hold up this side of the bridge. The rope would need to be anchored probably just here, actually, to be fine. And then like that. And that would keep the bridge in place and stop it doing anything stupid. So let's see if that idea is complete nonsense or if it has any merit. Okay, it sort of worked. So both vehicles have now made it across, yeah, we now need to put the bridge back how it was so that this guy can come across. And we've failed to do that, so more work is still needed here. First thing I'm going to do is adjust these points because I think they can be smaller. I think we need to do this on this side of the other. So we need to stabilize both bridges from both sides effectively by having another rope here. Don't worry if everything I'm saying sounds like complete nonsense, because it probably is. Right, let's see if that goes any better. We're halfway there because the bridge does go into the correct position. We just need to get it back to where it started. I heard something break. Yeah. Okay. Well, the right-hand side is working. The right-hand side has gone back into the correct position, but the left-hand side is not. So that guy's not happy. This rope broke. I don't understand why it broke. All it should be doing is holding this hydraulic in place. It moves up. But it just broke. What if we add another rope to hold it in place more securely? sounded to me like it still broke. Yes. Okay. Let's try using steel instead of rope. I think the steel broke as well. Yeah, I'm not sure why this puts so much strain on the bridge. Let's try a cable. So cables are like ropes, except they're more expensive. Are reserved for when nothing else will work. Okay, yeah, that's not. I think this is actually expanding too much, this hydraulic here. Let me see if I can persuade it to expand like this. Let's see if that helps. Okay, it didn't break that time. Now is it going to go back to the middle? I think it's gone back to the middle. Okay, that one took a while, but we got there in the end. We were just about under budget, and yeah, people got it a lot cheaper. Okay, we have a monster truck. We need to get it to this flag here. But before that happens, we need to get it over here, but we also need to get it here. And I think this symbol means it reverses direction, which seems odd because... I'm going to build a bridge and see what happens, I think, on this one. So we need to build something here. I'll start with steel, because this is quite a big vehicle. Okay, yeah, so hitting that checkpoint causes it to turn around and drive the other way, which is not what we want. It's going to get itself stuck, and we've got no chance of getting over here. So then what I think we need to do is actually go here first, turn around, come through here, turn around and go back again. So we need to start by building a bridge over everything. As far as about here, we can just have a bridge like this. But then when it comes back, it will need to come back like that. So we need to leave enough space that it can do that. So we need to do something like this. I wonder if we can just drop down onto there, actually. Yeah, let me see if we can just drop down onto it, because that would be a lot cheaper. And we also need to put something here, so that it can drive to this checkpoint here. So it looks like it wouldn't work as a bridge, but that's because it's going to, every time it hits one of these symbols, it's going to turn around and drive the other way. So we need to hold this up. And we need to hold this up. It didn't cause much strain on the bridge, so I'm going to try with just wood and see if that helps. Hasn't touched the checkpoint yet. That's okay. No, it's not strong enough. We do need steel. The game is going to complain that I reached the flag without touching the checkpoint, but that's all part of the plan. I'm going to climb up here, hit this, it should turn around, it's going to come back, hit this, turn around again. There we go. It's an odd way of getting there. But if that's what they want to do, then fine. Okay, we have 4 vehicles going to 4 flags, all very colourful. Looks like they all go at the same time. Yes, it would, Ophelia. This level, it looks like we have to build 4 separate bridges. The problem we've got is that you can only attach bridges to the landscape where these red squares are. So I can attach a bridge here. I can't attach a bridge here. And I can attach one here, but not here. So I need to figure out how I'm going to hold up my bridge. What I need are roads here, and also roads here, here, and here. But most of those are not attached to anything. So the first thing I'll do is attach them to each other. Like this. But now I need to hold all of this up, and I think what we need to do is build something that rests on this rock at the bottom. So we can't attach it to the rock because it hasn't got one of these red squares on, so we have to make sure it doesn't slide around or anything like that. But if I do something like that, and then this, let's see if that's enough. Okay, it was almost enough, and then it suddenly wasn't. I think we just need a bit of extra support on either side here. And let's try that again. There we go. The cars, I'll just play that again. The cars do crash into each other in the middle. And most of our bridge is actually under the water, you can't see it. But we did beat the level. We'll continue with that. Okay, we have 2 cars. The first car just needs to get to this side. The second car needs to get to this side, turn around and go back. But it needs to go back up here. So that's going to be interesting. We've only got 19 roads, so we can't just build 2 bridges across because that needs 11 roads. So we somehow need to get this car up here. And we can't use hydraulics. We haven't got any in this level, so we can't move the bridge with hydraulics like we would normally do. What I think we need to do is have a bit of road that goes like this, and then have this car push this road out of the way when it comes through, and then when it goes back it will drive up, and we need to do that somehow without breaking the bridge. So the first step is just to make this bit of bridge stand up on its own. Heavy? Not that heavy. I think I will use some steel. Make bridge. Where is the middle of this? There. Okay. Something like that to hold the bridge up initially, and then yeah, that guy's currently going to dive bomb straight through it. We need to provide a ramp. Which needs to be supported independently of the rest of the bridge so that it can be pushed out the way by this yellow car. At least that's the plan. So that looks something like that, except that that's just going to fall over. If I don't attach it here, and I'll need to not attach it there. So what I will do instead, something like that. then I need to hold this whole thing up, which I can do by having some steel here. And a rope from the steel onto that. So the car drives down, makes it across, and I need to see whether this car can push this bit of the bridge up out the way. Okay, which it does manage to do, but then when it comes back down again it breaks. So the supports for the bridge need to be strong enough to withstand the force of this bit dropping back down after the car's driven under it. So I'm going to strengthen that part. So yeah, it manages to push it out of the way. Okay, and now that breaks, but the whole bridge doesn't break. So this car does actually make it. Now it needs to come back, however, and that's not going to happen because this broke. So what broke? This piece here. Okay. So we need to strengthen this as well. Something like that probably works. I'll give that a go. We know the first car's going to like. What happens when this second car goes through? Okay, no. This piece broke. Let's try having two pieces there then. Okay, it didn't break that time. So as long as the car makes it back across. There we go. Okay, we completed the whole level. So we have two motorbikes that apparently are having a race to get to the other end. So the top one needs to get to this flag and the bottom one needs to get to this flag, which means the bottom one needs to get there first. Because of this road, we can't really have one of them jump over the other one. They both have to get here. But the top one is faster than the bottom one. So if I just build a bridge, it's not going to work. I'm going to start off by building a bridge anyway, because that's what you do in this game. I have a feeling... Well, the first thing that's happened is this one is going to drop down and probably break this bridge. So I imagine we're going to have to go with something similar to what we had in the previous level. Except that if we do exactly what we did in the previous level and have a road here, then all that's doing is allowing the top one to get there first, and we want the bottom one to get there first. So yes, the top one is faster and also breaks the bridge. We need to have some way of delaying the top one until the bottom one has gone past. So I'll try and come up with that in a moment, after I've strengthened this bridge enough that we can actually use it. So that should be stronger than what we had before. And what I'm thinking of here is we have some sort of mechanism where we put a piece of road here that doesn't let this bike come through. And then we have another piece of road here. We connect them. Don't connect them there, just connect them like that. That's going to just pivot on its own. What we really need at this point is a rope to hold this in place, but they haven't given us any ropes for this level. They really want to make things difficult for us. Let's see if I can make this not pivot on its own. it still going that way? There we go. Yeah. The idea is that the bike is now stuck until this bottom one pushes it out of the way. The problem is the bottom one isn't actually strong enough to push it out of the way. So it's just going to be stuck there as well. So that's not going to work either. The other option is we start this one off with a road, but we make it really steep to slow it down. So I'll try that next. If we have a road that's like this, then this bike will slow down a lot trying to get up the road. And as soon as this one's gone past, then it's alright for it to drop down. So I don't know what steepness of road we need to accomplish that. I'm just going to try some and find out. I'm so conscious of going over budget. Immediately breaks there, that's a good sign. Let's use steel then. Okay, yeah, so that slows the bike down, allowing this one to go first. The problem is it slows the bike down a bit too much. It's now completely stuck. So we need to make the slope slightly shallower in order for that to work. So if I take this rotate it like 2 degrees. We want the bike to be able to make it to the top, but not until the other one has driven past. And now it gets stuck, but it gets stuck higher up. So I'll just lower the top ones a bit. Okay, so it does just about make it up. So now we have to have it actually come back down again and not just get stuck at the top. This is going to end up being very expensive, but I can't actually think of a better way of doing this level, so this is what I'm going with. So this piece just keeps breaking. I'm not really sure why. I think maybe it's just the weight of all this bridge. We don't actually need these pieces to be steel. We can just have all of this be wood. We don't need this much wood, I don't think. Yeah, that needs that much wood. Probably just extend this steel underneath to support it better. Like that. And essentially we're just building a ramp on top of the bridge. We can't build the ramp over here to slow the bikes down before they get onto the bridge because this sort of rectangle you can see, that limits the area we're allowed to build in. So we have to build on the bridge itself. The idea is slow the top motorbike down so that the bottom one goes past, and then once the bottom one is past, it doesn't matter if this one is faster because all it would do is push the second one along, which is okay. So I think something like this will work if it just would not keep breaking. Let's go back to steel here and here. Yeah, the whole thing sort of sags when it's first the simulation starts running. I think we need to support it more on the bottom. Okay, I think we we can just do without this piece. Right, yeah, so that works. Okay, but the motorbike just catches up at the end. Plus, it breaks the bridge. So we just need this to be slightly steeper to make it take longer to get there. It needs to land behind this guy. It also needs to not break the bridge. Let's put a foundation in to help with the not breaking the bridge part. We might be able to use less steel here. I was avoiding the foundations because of how expensive they are. But if we can use less steel, it might be worth it. So I'm going to put a foundation here where it's going to land, because that will be where the most stress is. This bit can probably just be wood. And we'll need some sort of support on this side. Okay, yeah, so the bridge doesn't break, but the motorbike does still get there slightly too fast, so we need to make this slightly steeper to slow it down more. Okay, well, they crash into each other, but if we ignore that slightly painful journey, it works. It's just too expensive. So now that I've got a working design, I can figure out which pieces can be cheaper without causing the design to stop working. I'm hoping most of this steel doesn't need to be steel. That needs to be steel. This maybe not. I want to get away with just 2 pieces of steel here, so I think this bit needs to be wood. And then let's try without this bit and see what breaks, because that way it's under budget. Okay, yeah, that bit does break. So we'll upgrade this to steel. That's still under budget, so I think we might be there. So we've sort of built a roller coaster on our bridge, which is a funny way of doing things. Yeah, this takes a lot of force. There we go. Okay, so now it's under budget and it doesn't break, and the vehicles get to the end. What do we have now? We have what looks like a steamroller needing to get to this flag, and quite a big gap to cover. We have got $128,000 to work with. So we'll just build a big bridge, I think. So the strongest structure in these situations is usually some sort of arch, that sort of shape. Let's go with about there and see how that works. Let's see if that holds up as it is. If we need to reinforce it a bit more. Well, we got some of the way across. Yeah, this bit here isn't quite strong enough. I think that would be better off like that. This needs to be higher. bit faster as well. Okay, well that was a slightly easier level. We just had to make an arch bridge that was nice and strong. And that got us there. So we've actually now completed this whole campaign. The Serene Cyclades world. And it took me about an hour and 45 minutes, so not too bad. The next campaign, this Desert Springs one, I did actually do 3 levels from this in the previous stream, so we will pick up from level 4. So this world introduces springs, which again are not something you see in a typical real-world bridge. But they are very useful in this game where you've got cars flying all over the place to absorb impacts. This level actually has a pre-placed section with some springs on it. Demonstrates, yes, the fact that it allows the bridge to flex without breaking, which can be very helpful. But not all levels have springs. This is one that does. So the car is going to hit this pre-placed bit and fall down. We somehow need to get it to this flag. We're not allowed to change this piece, we're not allowed to build up here. We only build within this rectangle. So the car is going to come tumbling down here somewhere, and we need to catch it and get it to safety. And we need to catch it using a bridge that will be held up by springs so that it can absorb the force of the car falling down. So I think we want something a bit like this, where we have a road, but the road is supported by springs. And then it leads over here, and the car I think is fast enough to just jump most of the way. So something like that. Let's see how that goes. Okay. A lot of suspension bridges use springs to stabilise their structure, and that is actually true, T-Bago. So suspension springs, they have cables which are under tension, but they do also have... there's a lot of complex engineering that goes into a suspension bridge. However, I will say, if your suspension bridge ever does that, then something is wrong with it. So we almost caught the car there, but the spring just snapped under the force, so I'm going to put another spring in to spread the force a bit more evenly and see if that helps. And it did help. We actually completed the level there, and although the bridge sort of buckled a bit, it didn't break. I am wondering if we don't actually need this bit, and thus it could be quite a bit cheaper. Let me just run that back and see how it does. Okay, so we do need 2 springs on that side, otherwise it collapses. Maybe we can do that. Okay, yeah, that's actually good enough. So that was a little fun level. Yes, real bridge springs are not this springy, and that's probably a good thing. So we have a bridge with some pre-placed roads. We can build one more road, but that's it. We can't build a whole new set of roads underneath here, but we need to get this star somehow. We can't use hydraulics to move these roads down because we don't have any. All we have are springs. So what we need to do is design the bridge so that it's supported by springs. When the car drives over it, it will sag down a little bit, allowing the car to collect the star. So if I do some bits of wood here to hold up the bridge, but then instead of connecting those bits of wood directly to this foundation, if I instead connect it using springs, okay, Okay, that angle's down a bit too much. We need to support it a bit more strongly than that. So that obviously means more springs. The thing with spring levels in Polybridge is you can usually solve the problem by throwing more springs at it. So that still didn't work. I'm going to add even more springs. Let's see how... That's not quite right. That should be like that. There we go. Let's see how this is. Okay, yeah, so it's the springs have let it drop down just slightly so it gets to start. The problem we're having is that the left side drops down more than the right side, meaning that the car is now stuck, unable to climb up onto the right side of the bridge, and it also breaks it. So that's where this extra piece of road comes in. We need to give it some way of getting back up. Putting an extra piece of road in. There we go. That can almost certainly be done with far fewer springs. Yes, I spent $18,000 on that level, and people have spent $1,200. But at the moment, my goal is just to beat all the levels. I will probably come back later and optimize them to get further up the leaderboard. Okay, this is an interesting level. The only place we can attach things is on this beam here. And that beam moves. So there are two pillars holding this beam up, but one of them breaks and the beam moves. So we have to build a bridge on this beam. But then as soon as the simulation starts, the beam's going to move, and what's left at the end has to be a working bridge to get the car across. So again, springs are probably needed to absorb the forces involved in that. My thinking is if we just start by... because the right-hand side doesn't move, so... the road on the right hand side needs to be at the correct height. The road on the left hand side will drop down. But if we build it flat, but support it on the left hand side with springs, then it won't matter that it's dropped down. Because the car can drop down onto it and the springs will absorb the impact, hopefully. So we want something like this. But supported with springs. You don't need two steels there. And this side of the bridge can be fairly normal because it doesn't drop down very much. See how that does. Okay, so it does drop down a bit too much. I need to support it a bit more here, I think, and then maybe have it pivot around one of these roads. Leave that one. Let's try that. Okay, yeah, so that started off okay until the whole thing is sort of falling to the left. So I'm going to put a piece of steel here to stop that happening. Okay, and that steel breaks, so I'm going to put a spring there instead. Okay, yeah. So now it's fallen a bit to the left, but not much. The car still breaks it because it has quite a long way to drop down. So I think the solution to that is to start this side of the bridge higher up. So then when it inevitably drops down, it doesn't drop down as far. Let's try and make this road reasonably flat. this spring here is not very happy. I think maybe it would be slightly happier if we had another spring to share the weight more evenly. There we go. So now the car doesn't have to drop down this far, and it does make it over the vent, and we have completed the level. Okay, this looks dangerous. We have two cars preparing to do a jump of some sort over a boat, and then land over here. We do need to do a jump because we've only got 5 roads available, which is only that much distance. And they probably need to be about here because the jump is going to be like that. We need to absorb the force of the landing with springs. We've only got $24,000 to work with this time. Last level was 46,000, so we can't just use steel everywhere like we did before. I'm going to try with wood to start with. That might actually drop down too much. We'll see. So jump is going to happen. Okay. That did not go well. For the camper van. Right, so it can't actually jump quite as far as I was hoping. So this actually needs to be further down so that it can reach far enough to catch it. Alternatively, we could leave a small gap here because it can make a small jump. I think that's going to work out better. So I need 2 springs here still. And then we're going to have the roads in the middle and leave a gap here. Obviously, we still need to avoid the boat. We need to have this high enough that it can plausibly make this jump at the end. So let's see if it even makes it to the bridge this time. No, the whole thing is going to fall over. We will put more springs in. Not that many. That many. Okay. Let's have a spring here. Just to stop it from falling over. Okay, doesn't fall over now. So the camper van landed, but then it broke the bridge when it tried to drive over it. I'm going to replace this part with steel. See if that helps. Well, the camper van got there, but it hasn't left much of a bridge for the pink car. Okay, that broke. Go something like that. Okay, so what actually happened there was... Yeah, this spring got pulled so much that it broke. Spring here. So we need to do something to stop this spring getting pulled so hard. I think the obvious thing is to have 2 springs to share the load. Okay. Bridge still breaks. Now it's this bit. I wonder... Yeah, we can afford to do all this with steel, so I'll probably do all this with steel. Okay, it survived the first car, and it survived the second car. We have completed that one. I have no idea how people do this for less than $4,000, but apparently it's possible. have a moped and an ambulance. Both crossing the bridge, but they need to pick up these 2 stars in different positions, and we've got no hydraulics or anything like that to move the bridge around. What I think they're going for here is if we were to build a bridge like this, then A would reach its star, B wouldn't reach its star. However, if we build a springy bridge, because B is so much heavier, the bridge would sag down, and then we could collect the star. The trick with building a springy bridge is we can't just build a whole road across, because roads are not springy. We will need to build a road most of the way, and then another road most of the way, and then the 2 halves of the bridge will have to sag down. So we're starting with this sort of arrangement, and we want to have springs attached to the 2 halves of the road. Probably something like that, and then the roads themselves need to be held up by something. So it shouldn't sag very much when this first vehicle goes on, so it can collect its star. We just need to get the amount of springiness right, so that when the ambulance comes on, it sags down to get the green star, which it did do. We kind of need the 2 parts to sag together. Let me see if I can get that working. Are you still going to get your star? Yes. Okay, it just barely doesn't sag enough for the ambulance to get the star. So if we just make this spring slightly longer, I think that will do it. Unless, of course, it now goes too far. No, it's still going to get the red star. The bridge should now be very slightly low. There we go, and the green star is collected. I notice I'm coming up to 2 hours on this stream. I usually stream for about 2 hours. However, I started early today, so I'm probably going to go for another 45 minutes or so, just to bring me up to 11 o'clock my time, which is when I usually end. So we should get most of this world done, hopefully. This looks scary. We have a... This looks like it's going to roll down as soon as I start the simulation. Which is going to catapult the bike into the air. Let me zoom out and watch that. Okay, yeah, we've definitely departed from reality with these bridges now. This is not a recommended way of crossing a river. So we need to somehow catch this poor motorbike on this side. Let me just check again where they're going to land. Okay, almost right in the middle. And I'm not sure they're going to land the right way up. I think the idea is we don't need them to drive anywhere, we just sort of bounce them to their destination. So we have some sort of road here to catch them. And if we angle it this way, they might just bounce straight to the flag. That might be a bit optimistic, but I'm thinking sort of that sort of path. And I'm sure that's exactly what will happen. But now we need to support this road with springs so that it can take the force of the vehicle. If I just build this whole thing out of springs, I wonder what will happen. Let's do that, and then let's use some steel to attach the springs to the side of the... Yeah, I can't attach it directly to this road, that would just break. I can have a spring here though. So something like that. Excuse me. And then something like this on this side. See how that goes. Well, it absorbed the impact, but it didn't actually make it to the end because it fell down that hole. I think I can just... I'm not limited on roads for this level, so I can just continue the road a bit. I can't attach it directly to this because it needs to be able to flex, but I can attach it like that. Springs, not that many springs. Springs. There we go. Unfortunately, that did break a piece of the bridge, so I didn't get the unbreaking badge here on the leaderboard. This piece broke. I'm going to try replacing that piece by a spring. So that's usually a good way in sprint levels to stop something breaking. Okay, and now nothing's broken. Okay, what do we have here? A needs to get across to here, B needs to get across to here, but there's a problem. We can't build down here where the road is for B. Obviously we would want to have a bridge here, but the game won't let us build down there, so that's annoying. I would assume what they want us to do is have springs, since this is the spring world, so that the whole bridge sags down far enough that B can get across. So we probably want to have springs here, holding up a road. And then the road will stretch the springs and will then hopefully be the right length. So I'll just make a bridge held up by two springs and see what that does. And then we also need to make some other sort of bridge for A. I don't think we need springs for A. I think that's just going to be your normal bridge with an arch here. Okay, how much does this actually stretch? Oh, okay, it breaks in the middle. We maybe need to have another spring in the middle, just to stop it from snapping like that. Okay, that does not stretch enough to reach down to where the car is, so the car is going to end up very precariously positioned as a result of that. So we need to make these springs longer. Like that. Okay, that's still not quite enough. Make them even longer. Okay, that was long enough until the road snapped. We probably need to attach them then to the top of the bridge rather than to the road, so that the road doesn't snap. That's still slightly short. Oops, that's too much now. That looks about right. Okay, can the car get onto that? Yes, it can. And does it get off the other side? Yes. Okay. I will run that one more time, zoomed out, so you can see the whole thing. The top one just drove across the normal bridge. It was easy enough. The bottom one had to use this springy thing that I've come up with. Right, we need to get the start, but there's a boat in the way. And obviously the answer has got to involve springs somehow. We've got no hydraulics to move the bridge out of the way. What I assume we do is have the bridge sit just above the boat until the bus drives across, causes the bridge to sag, thereby allowing it to get the start. So we need to build an arch bridge, but have springs in it, which is not what you normally have on an arch bridge. So this might take some working out. I'll start by just building a normal arch. It's going to be easier if we have two roads in the middle. Then I will attach these bits with springs, and then that on its own is not going to work because the whole thing will collapse. But I will also have springs holding the bridge up. Hoping will cause it to sag more when the bus is on. See how that goes. Okay, that sort of works, except it's already sagging too much before the bus drives on. So I think we need to start it off higher up. See if that's enough. Not quite. Higher then. Almost. These small bits of road are not quite behaving each other. You're going to bed now, Peter? Yes, this is very late for you, I know. Sorry that my stream time doesn't align that well with your day, but thank you for sticking around and catching the first couple of hours, and sleep well. Okay, we got the boat under. And we have sagged down enough to get the start, but yeah, the two halves are not really lining up very well, so I need to work on that. If I can add more supports here, just have a spring there. I need to stop these two bits slipping past each other like that. If I put the top road, the left road above the right one, that would help, because the bus can drop down slightly, it just can't really climb up. Yeah, that looks more promising. Now let's see if it's... okay, it's actually going to fail there. Start making this out of steel instead. We have got $58,000 to work with on this level, so we can overspend on the steel if we need to. Okay, yeah, everything goes well until this middle bit. I wonder if I can just connect these if there's a spring holding it up. Or if that is going to just snap. Okay, now that does work. If I make it a bit stronger, we might be there. Okay. Yeah, that holds up. The only problem now is that I don't think the bus will sag wedgie enough? Yeah, okay. It's not really good. Do something like that. And just support it better on this side and have each half supported independently. Yeah, let's try something like that. We need a lot of springs, but that's okay. Need some more steel first. Okay, yeah, that's going to put that under a lot of stress. We can actually probably just not have this first part of the bridge sag at all. Just have it start from here. Yeah, like that. That would make it easier to handle. Okay, and probably make this steel as well. This only needs to be wood. Try that. Okay, yeah, it doesn't. It's hitting the boat now, but I think that's what I was aiming for originally when I didn't quite get it done correctly. Something like this that just sags just enough to not be hit by the boat, and then something on the other side that does the same thing, and then they meet in the middle. Ideally, they don't break. Yeah, that ends up. It's under a lot of tension initially, which is a problem. That needs to be a steel. Its problem is it's bouncing, so it's just bouncing onto the boat. It almost gets under the boat without breaking. Okay, that's better. So the boat gets under, and the hope is that the bus causes this to sag enough to pick up the star, but without collapsing it. And then we have something similar on the other side that the bus drives onto. And in fact, that doesn't even need to have springs. That can just be fixed in place just above the boat. Something like this. So once it's collected the star, it drives onto something here. Get this as close as we can. Going well until it broke over here, so let's keep going with this idea. It's taking the bus a long time to drive onto this road as well. It keeps grounding itself, so let's fix that. It was going well until it wasn't. Well, that's always the case with these bridges, Teabagger. Yeah, it's just difficult for this to stay up. I actually wonder if I can... It's a shame that Few's not here, because for once his suggestion of go under is actually somewhat correct. Because I think I can build something like this under the boat. If I put a cable like this, and then like this, then I think that will hold the whole thing up. It's expensive, but we can look at reducing the cost once we have a working design. And now most of the force goes into... Yeah, it's still broke, but we can work on that. We just need to drop this piece down far enough to pick up the star. Yeah, we're dropping it too far, unfortunately. I wonder if there's a better way to do this. We don't need that for a start. We might go back to the idea of having the whole thing supported by springs. Something like that. Yeah, because then it doesn't move as much. Yeah, again it's working until it doesn't. But we can actually bring this lower now. And to be honest, we can actually have a spring here. I don't think this will hit the boat. We can actually support this a bit better than we have been doing by having a spring here, as well as springs here. Yeah, that actually supports it a lot better. So we can then move it closer to the boat again, and it doesn't have as far to flex. Sorry, this level is taking me longer than I thought. It's proving to be a tricky one. Yeah, I think that is going to touch the star now. All we have to do is have our supports not collapse while this is happening. So, Ruby, hello. Thank you for checking out the stream. Welcome to Polybridge 3. And no, that's not what the poly means in the title. At least I hope not. Yes, sorry, no Scrabble today, Ruby. Just bridge building, and I'm not doing very well on this level, I have to say. But hi, Ruby, how are you? It's okay, Scrabble is bad. As I was saying yesterday in one of the many streams I was in, why does the Scrabble community hate Scrabble so much? Something I haven't figured out yet. You're good, just had a wild afternoon. Yeah, well, I was a bit tired today, which might have something to do with the fact that at 4 AM yesterday night, I was still playing Scrabble with you, Ruby. Don't worry, it's not your fault. What happened this afternoon, Ruby, that was wild? Is it me, or have a lot of people been asking you out lately, Ruby? Or is that just something that happens when you're attractive, unlike me. Because you were going to go on a date yesterday, and then somebody was being a bit creepy. Yeah, I mean that sounds good. Congrats, and hope that works out well. You're pretty actively dating? Okay, fair enough. I can't say that's anything that I've ever tried myself, but I can say good luck, and hope you find someone. Yes, it's not something I'll talk about much on stream, but dating as a transgender person is like... it's a whole thing. The options are limited, let's put it that way. Okay, this is going so well, right up until the point where it isn't. Maybe this should actually just be a spring. Dating is emotionally draining. Yes, it is, Ruby. The options are a lot more limited for me. But no, it's not easy for anyone. I completely appreciate that. It's like the bridge just can't quite hold the bus when it's in the middle, which is... this piece that breaks, I'm going to put a cable here. I can probably get away without these pieces and just have a cable underneath. Like that. Yeah, that might be better. Let me just try something really stupid. Which is, what if I have cables like this? Steel supports like this. Does that help at all? It does make it cheaper, which is one thing. See how that goes. Well, I think I'm at least as old as you, Tibago. I don't know about Ruby. Random dudes on dating apps about your pronouns. Oh, are you she, they, Ruby? Or do you just mean that even putting pronouns on the app at all is a problem? Difficult to actually support this bridge, which is a shame. Oh, she, her, they, them, music, good, fine. Okay, yeah, so it's not the pronouns themselves, just the fact that you're declaring pronouns on a dating app is apparently still a problem for some people. I'm sorry to hear that, really. But I mean, at least it gives you an easy way to weed out those people, since it doesn't sound like they'd be very nice people to begin with. I need to stop this wobbling in the middle so much. I think I actually need to go around the boat like this. Maybe. Yeah, something like this might do it. Yeah, it just can't quite take the weight of the bus. That's the problem I'm having. I'm sure there's a more intelligent solution to this, but well, this is not the place to come for intelligent solutions. Let's do that one. Yeah, it's all going fine until it gets to the middle. I wonder if a cable will work here, or does this make it wobble? Makes it wobble. This, and then cable here, maybe? Let's see how that goes. Okay, that is actually closer than we got before, because it's only this side of the bridge that's breaking now, where this wood is. It might be enough to just change that to steel. There's one unhappy piece of steel here. Let's do... No, still this one piece of steel. What if I do that instead? Okay, now... this road is... Yeah, everything's being held up by this road. We don't want roads holding things up. Don't want that road holding things up. I probably just need a piece across like that. In fact, I don't need that piece. Okay, very close. This one road here is now causing the problem. I'm actually going to detach that road from the bridge. The little spring in. This is a sort of bodge to get around the fact that you don't want to attach. You don't want the road itself taking the weight of the bridge. You can put a cable here. Hopefully this is going to be good enough. No, that cable still breaks actually. I think maybe a spring would be good. That's what we've got the other side. Okay, well the spring didn't break. This broke. It's awkward. Let's try making this thicker. So if I have this, yeah, if that can flex, this side of the bridge breaks. If that can't flex, it breaks. Either way, one side of the bridge or the other is going to break, which is unfortunate. We're very close. We're close to having the bus just smoothly make the transition in the middle. If only the bridge didn't break before it got there. I just need to rethink this spotting bit again. Do something like this to hold up this side. This side we do something similar, I think. Maybe something like this. Let's see how that goes. Okay, yeah, same problem with supporting it on this side. Can strengthen it. Every time the bus drives across, this number on the bottom creeps up to 100%, and we just need to stop it getting there. So that time the left side was fine. The right side is still having problems here with this cable. And they've given us this anchor point here, which they obviously want us to use for something. If I do that and have a cable here to help hold up this side, that might help. There we go. Okay, that took embarrassingly long. We did finally complete this level. Okay, so it didn't touch the star, but it made it across without breaking the bridge. And now it's just a case of lowering this slightly to actually touch the star. While also not touching the boat. How close can we get to the star without touching it? No, that didn't touch the star either. There we go, that touched the star. Okay. So that actually counts as completing the level because we touched the star. We are still over budget. So we need to figure out what we don't need out of all this steel that we've placed. Now that we've got this cable support here going on, we might be able to go back to just a road there. This can probably just be a bit of wood. Actually, it probably can't. It can maybe be a bit of steel like that though. Is that cheaper than that? No, okay, I'll just leave that how it is then. Can this be wood on top? This possibly actually, yeah, that can be wood on top. Okay, that's still over budget, but it's only half as over budget as it was previously. Let's find some more money we can save. Maybe we don't need that bit. Because, yeah, we can just drive over those springs and that still work. Okay, now that causes it to tip too much, so we need to keep that bit. So we need to do without some of this steel. We can probably change this steel to look more like that, which is cheaper. Let's see if it still stands up. It does, okay. We can probably replace all of that with one cable. And we can probably make this lower. Okay, that's just barely under budget, so if we get... Oh, no, it doesn't work. If we can get it just barely under budget, I'm going to call that good enough. We do need to do something with this road. Then we need to get it under budget again. Oh, this can probably just be a rope, and that's not needed. Okay, that gets it on. Yes, it does. Okay, finally we got rid of this level. So on to the next one. We've got time probably for one more level if it doesn't take as long as that one, and then I'll probably end the stream. We have a truck with some sort of beam on the back of it, and a car that's going to attempt to jump. And they've both got to end up over here. I mean, this just looks like it's going to end badly, I have to be honest. So we need to build a bridge. That takes up... We have a limited number of roads. We have 18 roads available, and this bridge, which is essential to get the truck across, takes up 12 of them, leaving us with 6. What I think is going to happen is the car is going to jump, land on the truck, and we've got to catch it so that it doesn't break the bridge when it lands. We've got this foundation that we can use to support the bridge, and I think we're going to need it because this truck is heavy and there's a car going to jump on it. We then need to hold up this bridge. In fact, I think we're going to need steel for this, so I'll change it to steel preemptively. Okay, yeah, so the car does land on the truck and it does break the bridge. Where I believe springs come in is we're actually allowed to build on this pillar that's on the back of this truck. We can actually put springs on it. So I think we need to put springs on it. Put roads on top of the springs. And then this creates something for the car to land on that absorbs the impact of the car. So that the bridge doesn't. Okay, well, it sort of worked. The car landed on the springs. And the springs absorbed some of the impact, but the bridge still broke. So I think what I'm going to start by doing is moving this foundation closer to where the vehicle lands, so that it absorbs more of the impact. Actually, even closer than that. It's more like here. And then I'm also going to upgrade this part of the bridge to steel. Let's see if that helps. Okay, so the bridge actually survived the initial impact, but the car then bounced off the front of the truck, rolled down the cab, and that caused the bridge to break. We can probably prevent it from doing that by adjusting the shape of this catch that we've made. If we do something like that, that should stop it from bouncing in front of the truck. Almost. Okay, even more like that. It's almost staying on there. We just need to catch it slightly better. Okay. Now we have the problem. The bridge isn't actually strong enough to hold the truck, so I'm going to move this foundation back to the middle and put some more steel in. We've got $100,000 for this level, so we can just make everything out of steel. Now that bit breaks. Okay, so wherever we put this foundation, it seems that one part or other of the bridge is going to break. I'll try halfway between. Okay, I think we're finally getting there, but we do need to support this section. We can do this, and this is sort of braced against the foundation itself now. Give that road a bit of extra support. There we go. Finally, and the car arrives upside down. And yeah, we need our springs to be a bit lower so that this car can actually touch its flagpole. So move all this down like that, and that should be good enough. Assuming it stays on. Okay, is that low enough to hit the flagpole there? Okay, how did that not hit? That was definitely low enough. We'll make it even lower. There we go. Okay, we got through that one a bit easier than the previous one. And conveniently, that's the end of the Springs world, Desert Springs, appropriately named. There is one more campaign at the 3 sheep difficulty level called Radical Meltdown. So if I stream this game again, I will be tackling that campaign and then moving on to the 4 sheep difficulty, in which there are 2 more worlds. And I believe there's actually a secret world after that. But yes, it has come up to 11 o'clock, which is my usual ending time. I didn't get quite as much viewer attention from this game as I have in previous streams, maybe just because it was Polybridge Begin. But tomorrow I will be streaming Scrabble, starting at around 9 PM my time, and that tends to get people involved. Hopefully Dustin will be around to challenge me to a game. Ruby, if you want to challenge me to a game again, you're welcome to do so. Thanks, Ruby. I got these last year. I tried to get something a bit more feminine looking than what I had before, to distract attention from my face, since there's only so much I can do to fix that. So thank you, Ruby. And I'm going to look for somebody to raid now. If there's anyone playing Polybridge, I will raid them. No problem, T-Bago. Thanks for sticking around and wielding your mod powers. Not that you had to do anything this stream, I don't think. Okay. Yes, there is somebody streaming Polybridge. I haven't interacted with them before, but I like to spread the raids around, get different streams involved, so we are going to raid Y2J Twitch, who are currently playing Polybridge. Thank you everybody for dropping by, and I'll see you again hopefully tomorrow.